Hey, Remember World Entertainment, and it looks like Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey may have a bigger uphill battle than we thought. Now, of course, the controversy surrounding the casting is still incredibly strong. Interest in the movie seems to have plummeted, which is possibly due to the casting and just the controversy around everything that everybody's saying. But now, as you can see the headline right here, The Odyssey's massive budget reportedly makes it the most expensive R-rated movie of all time. Here's the thing we're looking at here. Number one, we've just now had the movie confirmed as an R-rated movie because all the speculation was that this thing was PG-13, and now we're going to find out what the budget is. And this thing isn't tracking all that great. However, that is how it was going. Apparently the pre-sale tickets went like hotcakes, which I've been saying all along. This thing will make all the money, but it'll probably also be the most hated movie. It's going to be a bizarre one, but let's dive into this because the budget compared to it now being an R-rated movie, and then all the controversy with the casting and the crap Nolan has been saying, and Greece itself is calling this out and they are not happy. Yeah, it's not looking great for this movie. So let's have a look. So we now have confirmation that Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey will indeed be R-rated. A rumour did the rounds last year that the mythological epic might be hit with the adult-orientated rating. I never actually heard that rumour, but a lot of people dismissed it outright. Though Homer's poem certainly features enough violence, sex and other elements to warrant an R-rated adaptation, it was generally assumed that Universal would prefer a PG-13 in order to appeal to the widest audience possible and maximise profits, which makes all the sense in the world. The studio might well have pushed for the more family-friendly rating, but at the end of the day, Nolan is a filmmaker who is in a position to make any type of movie he damn well pleases at this stage. Until this movie comes out, because that's where this could all completely change. And I'm not talking about if it doesn't make money. It can make all the money. The problem is, will the studios be going, look at the controversy that happened around this. Look at the audience score. Look at the audience reaction to the movie. Look at the controversy you rose. If we tell you we want butts in seats, you make it a PG-13. That could very well happen, because Hollywood is weird like that. So, the studio, no, we just read that part, didn't we? No, we didn't. The studio might well have pushed for the more family-friendly rating, but at the end of the day, Nolan we did read that bloody part. So, it's also worth keeping in mind that Nolan's last movie with the studio was the R-rated Oppenheimer, which went on to gross just short of $1 billion worldwide and won several Academy Awards. Was Oppenheimer with Universal? I thought that was with someone else. Okay. So, at any rate, we can't imagine the movie is going to have much trouble packing out theatres. Tickets went on sale earlier today, and demand for IMAX and other premium large format screenings was so high that several sites crashed. Sales have resumed, but wait times were up to an hour at one point. I think the whole thing about, everything's crashing and blah blah blah, I think all that's bullshit. I really do. I think the sites are actually doing that on purpose because they said it with so many movies, and then everybody immediately goes onto the sites to have a look, and there's absolutely no issues getting onto the sites. Every single time they put out this thing, the sites have crashed, people go on and they never have a problem going on. And not just that, but the majority of the screens, like in very populated areas, are kind of never really that fully booked out either. So I really do think that whole thing about sites crashing, I think that's all bullshit. So a positive sign for sure, but this movie is definitely going to keep the crowds coming. Will it though? This is a peculiar article because they are literally saying this thing is going to be the best thing ever. So it's just going to keep pumping people into the cinemas constantly all week, for 2 weeks, for a month, whatever. When all signs are pointing that this thing is going to struggle, and that there's a very, very big possibility that that opening weekend will be massive, and then come the Monday and beyond, it absolutely plummets. So, according to Variety, the Odyssey carries a budget of $250 million, making it one of the most expensive R-rated movies in history, topping the likes of Joker Folie à Deux and Deadpool and Wolverine. Bullshit. Deadpool and Wolverine's budget was over 300 million. So they can take this number and say it's the highest. This is one of the highest. So them saying, oh, Deadpool and Wolverine only had this, but Deadpool and Wolverine, we've seen the fucking tax returns. We've seen that it costs, I think it was $369 million. That was the budget, I think, if not a bit higher. So I don't know why they're trying to push this bullshit. So if that budget was even bigger, if this budget for Joker Folie à Deux was 250 or 200 million, this is probably bullshit as well. It's possibly higher than this number. By the way, when I went to see Masters of the Universe, they played the trailer for the Odyssey. Good luck if you can see anything. Again, every dark shot in that thing, I couldn't see a goddamn thing. So, it seems to be his cinematography this time around is going to be an issue compared to the actual, can you understand what people are saying? So it says here, Christopher Nolan's next film, The Odyssey, is a mythic action epic shot across the world using brand new IMAX film technology. The film brings Homer's foundational saga to IMAX film screens for the first time and opens in theaters everywhere on July 17, 2026. A statement, blah blah blah, from Universal said. Okay, so you shot across the world using a brand new IMAX technology. That would have run the cost up, because using IMAX cameras costs a fortune because the things are massive. So you're now using brand new IMAX technology. That probably ran the cost up again. So when you take on to the cast that they have, new technology now that they have, they've actually built the bloody boats, or at least one of the boats, all the effects, the landscapes, all the marketing that's going into this thing. And you're going to sit there and trying to tell us 250 million. Yeah, I think it's going to be slightly higher than that. And then that is before marketing. That's just the budget. That's before marketing, which is probably another 100 to 150 million. So the poem has been adapted, sometimes very loosely. I think you are putting that in now for a bit of cope regarding, this type of thing. A number of times before, starting with the 1911 silent film, blah blah blah. So it just goes on to talk a lot of shite now. But they're trying to say now that this thing is carrying only a budget of 250 million. Again, forgetting to put in marketing and what the actual costs are. We're looking at this movie possibly having to hit somewhere in and around 550 to 600 million to break even. Now, again, it's probably going to do that because it's Christopher Nolan, and for some reason his movies just are juggernauts. People just go and see them no matter what. But could this be the first Nolan movie that comes out that word of mouth isn't great on, that the controversy actually does hurt the movie in a big way with the casting? And Greece, like, the Greeks are not happy with this movie, with the casting, with what Christopher Nolan is saying, what half the cast is saying. Greece has actually gone nuts. I wouldn't be surprised if Greece boycotts this thing. I'd be amazed if some of their cinemas don't just turn around and go, we're refusing to take it. So it's gonna be fascinating to see what actually happens with this movie. That's the thing I'm looking forward to the most. Never mind the movie. Couldn't really care less about the movie. I want to see what happens between fans' reactions and the actual money this thing brings in. Because I can see it bringing in all the money in the world, but I can also see it being one of the most hated movies ever. Like, I can literally see Nolan fans going, what was he thinking? What, this thing is a disaster. And yet the thing still walks away with like $800+ million at the box office. It's going to be fascinating to see. But what do you guys think? Number one, that budget, do you think it is higher than that? It has to be. Especially seeing as they're trying to compare it to Deadpool and Wolverine, which its budget was over 300. What do you think about that? And what do you think now, knowing that it's officially R-rated? Do you think that could hurt it? Do you think that could help it? Let me know what you think about all of this, and are you excited for this movie? A lot of you have chimed in the comments over the last few videos about the Odyssey, saying you've lost all interest with the movie. So I wonder if that trend has continued, but let us know. I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and hit that hype button and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.